Direct from the Six, world-renowned, Canada's largest city, with Canada's biggest thinkers, visionaries, and hustlers. This is Startup Talk, featuring the founders, funders, innovators, and community leaders who've led Canada's startup ecosystem right here in Toronto. You'll hear the challenges, the failures, the successes. Toronto's Startup Podcast gives you the full story direct from the entrepreneurs and influencers who've made a difference. Now, the host of Startup Talk, the founder of TorontoStarts, the Startup Coach.
Loft operates at the intersection of real estate and technology. How do you see AI shaping the future of flexible workspaces and real estate?
Yeah, I'm very excited about this. I'm blown away by what AI will be achieving across many industries. But our vision for Loft had always been, as I said, rebuilding the space between work and life. And what would that mean in the future? What could Loft represent for, as I said, a rural area, or when you put a loft into a space, what is the economic overflow that happens when you put a loft there? If I put a loft in, let's say, an area that is showing promise for redevelopment and, new industries, if I put workers there and I tie services into that experience, how does that help to develop the area? Right. So there was always this vision of Loft being this conduit or catalyst for growth, like whatever you would see around work, the services, the tools, the development, right? From a residential perspective, like Loft could be this economic partner. AI is an incredible tool because the data that it can pull from and what it can, possibly help us understand is, could AI be used with what Loft is doing to understand commuting patterns, right? If you put a loft into a region, what would be the impact on traffic patterns? What would be the impact on how you should develop an area, right? And so I'm excited by that. I'm very excited by, just understanding from the data, and not only just in Canada, but globally, right? Could you look at Loft and then say, if you put a loft in this area as a developer, and you say, I know that this will help to bring this is how urban planning should be done in this area. This is how, municipal planning, residential planning, like just think about all of that. I think AI would be a huge addition to that journey, right? It would help us really unlock the full potential of what a loft could represent.
Yes.
Everything is a leap or a lesson. This is a phrase that someone had said to me, someone close, and it really resonated because, even in the challenges, right? Or you're going to learn something, right? Even if it isn't a leap forward, but it's something where you feel like, oh, I'm sitting in the pain, it's going to be a lesson. And then you'll have your leaps. And these will be the things that feel great. And all of a sudden you'll say, wow, we won the government contract. Like this will move the needle. That's amazing. But everything has value, right? Don't squander it.
Where can our listeners learn more about you and Loft?
So our website for sure. So you can find the closest loft. And I think that's the best way. Go into the closest loft. We have 7 locations, 2 downtown, where one is an event space and one is a loft. Go in and talk to our team. They're amazing and very welcoming, and you get to see it and feel it. Or go to our website, www.loft.work.
And Loft is LAUFT.
Correct.
And for those listening, and those links will be in the show notes if you're listening on the podcast. I really appreciate you taking the time today, Graham, and to talk to our listeners and to share some of your words of wisdom.
Thank you so much for having me. And I truly appreciate the opportunity to connect.
This has been Startup Talk, Toronto's startup podcast. For more exclusive content, the episode vault, and to be part of Toronto Starts community, visit TorontoStarts.com. get your name on the newsletter mailing list, and check out our upcoming events. For more episodes, subscribe now. And please recognize the time and work behind the scenes put into connecting you with the biggest visionaries, entrepreneurs, and innovators in Toronto by leaving a 5-star review. Join us for more next episode from Toronto's most active entrepreneur and startup community on Startup Talk.